All right. Hello and welcome back to TechnoPoverty, the show where we ask what's going on with Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Yeah.
What is going on with that?
Apparently he's just being kept there.
All right. We're gonna follow up on that as we get further into the show, but traditionally TechnoPoverty is about playing video games and talking about books. We choose something from the genre. We read novels, comics. We bring up movies. We've been watching movies in the Discord. We watched Flesh and Blood, the Paul Verhoeven 1985 classic, as part of this fantasy syllabus as we go through Berserk here. We're going to be talking about Shirley Jackson tonight. And we're going to be playing Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage for the Sega Dreamcast. Now, before we get to that, I just want to thank you if you are new. We've had a huge uptick in subscribers, followers across social media.
Yeah.
I know it has to do with the video Michael put out over on Wisecrack. If you want any further information, just go check out the channel. I don't want to say too much over here. And of course, you can check out Michael's stuff on his own channel there on YouTube, Michael O. Burns. I just also want to shout out Lux is going on at Pixel Goblins, and you can check out our wrestling show at Fight Opera if you want to see some of the Wisecrack crew around the internet. Also, if you are a fan of Show Me the Meaning, Austin Hayden Schmidt has a YouTube channel. It's just Austin Schmidt. Search on up.
Not bad.
Yeah. Hi there, 3256.
Yeah,
but let's get to the video games and the books and the meat of why we're here. We're talking about fantasy and the imagination. And Jacob, are video games real?
It's a loaded question, but yes.
Yeah. So we've talked about what makes you jump on saying yes.
Man, because either it's the story itself is real, like it was created by a person, it is physically tangible, and if a game's good enough, it kind of lives inside your head.
Okay. Yeah. You go straight to the story, which is kind of like the coming together of all the elements.
Yeah.
You know but. It's a digital representation of people. Like, you're sparking up the machine. You're making silicone and metal hallucinate. I think you've talked a bit about this before.
Yeah, just the fact of computers being rocks that we taught math.
Yeah. We introduce electricity into the system through like an input-output, just like press button, and it changes what the picture is doing on the screen. But your mind assigns narrative to that, and the way that process just layered and layered and layered and layered compounds into meaning. Yeah, video games. I guess at what point does all those micro actions coalesce into the game itself? At what point does it become real? At what point are you making the machine hallucinate, and not in like a linear, an LLM hallucination where that's a matter of the machine being trained with bad data and not knowing what to reference, getting clogged up, vomiting on itself. That'd be like saying your sink. If your sink overflowed and it just started, spilling water over the lip onto the floor, and someone's just like, your sink's hallucinating. Like, no, buddy, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's not.
But yeah, I played Chrono Trigger, and I'm like, wow, this game about a gang of kids traveling through time to save the world really, really affected me. Thank you, Super Nintendo. How did you do that?
Yeah. 3256. Humanity hasn't even scratched the surface of understanding the fundamental nature of reality. Video games are as real as your consciousness.
Yeah, and so Sword of the Berserk, which we're playing, came out for the Dreamcast. I hope that's not too much of a dad joke pun for y'all, but the machine is, giving us this narrative illusion. Something we were talking about last stream as we played through the game was how heavy the focus on cutscenes were. Jacob, you're pretty much just kind of watching an anime or a machinima, huh?
Yeah, and honestly, it's the style lends itself really well. Like the cutscenes, as compared to like even other games around that time,
yeah,
like really compelling.
Something that always comes to mind that I compare this to is the first Silent Hill is like a contrast thing, because the first Silent Hill has great atmosphere, and as you're playing it, it's mechanically engrossing. But a lot of the cutscene direction is very wooden. Even like early Resident Evil games did the marionette-esque gross gestures on the model, but I remember Silent Hill 1 in particular feeling pretty lo-fi in terms of the stillness of a lot of the presentation. So seeing that kind of fundamental cinematography just being well executed in a Dreamcast game is fun.
Yeah, no, completely agreed.
Also, I think I noted, but if you look up speedruns for this game, it can be beaten in like 40 minutes if you're skipping everything and playing Super Pro. And then I think it runs about 4 hours if you're just playing competently and watching everything. So there's a huge percent of its narrative designed to just be watched by the viewer, which I find interesting, and there's a lot of faith in the gamer to not mash buttons. But also, when you do mash buttons, it compresses it into a game that's very much like a classic level-based Castlevania, where, you know, in a very arcadey sense, you can beat it in an afternoon if you know what buttons to hit.
Mm-hmm. The cupcake was too much, gang. I don't know, man. It sounded pretty delicious. I would have had some easily for you.
See, Hammelman mentions a cupcake, and my mouth waters, and my brain is already dreaming about what I myself would do with a cupcake in my mouth right now. Yeah. And I guess on this note of dreams, let's tie this back into both Berserk and Jackson, because in Berserk, the villain Griffith is motivated by his dreams. I don't even know if I should call him a villain based on where we're going to go tonight. I'm not saying he did nothing wrong. He's definitely a bad dude who did horrible things. But, well, let me start with a quote. I have 2 quotes I want to read before we get into the game here. We're going to be talking about choice and will and dreams. Last session we were talking a lot about Berserk's entertaining of revenge and Guts' choice to move away from revenge and find a new purpose. But what about Griffith? We're going to talk more about him tonight. He's the reason I pulled Barry Lyndon into the syllabus. Also, Phantom of the Paradise was mentioned last time. Just want to give it another shout out. Jacob, how would you describe Phantom of the Paradise?
Man, Rocky Horror Picture Show, but like, I'm going to say less gay, but no, I think it's equally gay.
It is
in the best ways possible.
I was about to say it's got some queerness to it. It does use the F slur at one point. I mean, within the mouth of the villain, and it's like one of those 70s things where they're being edgy, and like in context, it's kind of like Blazing Saddles, where like, yeah, they're saying bad words, but the stupid people are still saying the bad words.
Yeah, it's for the character.
It is kind of a straight-washed Rocky Horror in a way. There's more of a masculine revenge narrative cuck fantasy thing going on that I think is more of a straight fetishization than like something where Rocky Horror is just like, hey man, it can all be cool.
Yeah, man, it's just a really fun movie, honestly, because I didn't know what to expect going into it whenever we first saw it.
Yeah, Brian De Palma, for 1976, 1974. For those who don't know, take a look at that case. I'd say Google the Phantom's look. His helmet is very much like Griffith's from Berserk. Yeah. It is about an artist who writes a cantata that is very good, but he is very peculiar about playing it one way, and an evil music producer steals it from him and commercializes it and bastardizes it, and so he seeks revenge. It's Phantom of the Opera meets Rocky Horror. Yeah. The revenge and the cuckoldiness of it is something that is also included in Berserk. And yes, when I'm saying cuckoldy, I'm not trying to be derogatory. I'm just explaining there is a cuckold-like relationship going on. I know the words become sort of an internet meme over the past decade, but if you look into a lot of the humanities, there's plays like Amphitryon, the human father of Hercules, that have explored these ideas since literally before the written word. So, I don't know. I've heard the term a lot offline due to being interested in the humanities and history and the literature, so I'm going to use it. Just clarification on that. But let's get back to Berserk, because I want to bring up this quote. In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that no man has control, even over his own will. Man takes up the sword in order to shield the small wound in his heart, sustained in a far-off time beyond remembrance. Man wields the sword so that he may die smiling in some far-off time beyond perception. So I want to bring that up. If you've heard the first one before, it is likely because you've watched the 1997 anime, which uses that as the opening quote. But what it's asking, at least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will. As I've said, Guts has chosen not to seek revenge, or at least is inching towards that. There are forces throughout the story that want him to get revenge against Griffith, and it seems like it may be some supernatural con for some higher plane revenge entities to kind of get their rocks off, making these humans destroy each other. But the more constructive route seems to be putting the sword down, which I think there's hints of with the later chapters right at the end of Miura's run.
Yes.
But to what extent did Guts get to make that choice because of where he was at time in the series after all the trauma, all the pain, after being dense so many times before? Could he have chose earlier, or did he not have the choice to? Did he have no will? Did he have no ability to prevent Griffith's ascent to demonhood and the destruction that yielded against his friends? There's a tension in Berserk as far as that goes. And I find it interesting because within this game we're playing, you're the one controlling Guts. Guts is a separate character from you, though. I'll get into this when we start playing, but there's some stuff the rage meter does that I find very interesting. But that question of will, to what extent to what extent can you choose to do the things you do, and how much of it is governed by circumstance, by your wallet, by your birth, by your health, what you've been conditioned to believe are your best interests? These are all questions we've been talking about for the previous few games when we're looking at the ideas of ontology. And yeah, we're just going to continue that on. Once again, this is TechnoPoverty. I'm going to go ahead and fire up Berserk now, but one last station ID. We are here every Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. CST. On YouTube, we re-upload our VODs. You can also find them on Twitch if you're a bit impatient. And we've been hosting movies irregularly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing. And another thing.
Another thing.
And another one. This Sunday, we're going to be screening Freddy Got Fingered on the Discord. We have a screening room. We've been showing, again, we showed Flesh and Blood. We watched the Val Kilmer classic, Zucker Bros comedy Top Secret, R.I.P. Val Kilmer. We may be watching Hundreds of Beavers, but yeah, Easter Sunday, 420, we're going to be having fun with Freddy Got Fingered. We're not just throwing it on at random either. Freddy Got Fingered has a lot to do with like poking fun at constructions and popular archetypes of masculinity. If you've seen the movie, you know you don't need the jewels. She doesn't want the jewels. It is fine if you don't have the jewels, gentlemen. Let's pull up this game, though. Could you pass me the PlayStation controller?
Can do indeed, sir. Here you are.
Barnabas, how are you feeling, girl?
Barney's cozy. Barney had a big day at the vet today. She's feeling much better, drugged up. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat. Yes, Diddy Hamilton, almost EST gang. Okay.
I used to be the EST gang.
Something is making noise. It's not coming through the headsets. So it might be coming up on the mic.
So you guys getting any...
Chat, how are you getting the game audio? Just a moment. The console audio is feeding into the speakers, but I'm not hearing anything. I'm going to...
Good. It's good that it doesn't sound bad.
Oh, I know what it is.
What do we get?
There we go. Oh.
God, these guys. These big axe boys.
Oh yeah. So, to catch up those who are just joining us, I'm playing Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage, 1999, Sega Dreamcast. It is an original story set within the canon of the Berserk manga. It was written by Kentaro Miura. We are playing an updated fan translation that gives us the correct English script, because when it first came out, it was the only piece of Berserk media that was in the United States. So the script was adjusted to make it more of a standalone action game.
Which I find fascinating.
Yeah. It's interesting the way some of the...
of it.
Yeah, that happened a bit in the 90s, and I found that interesting because, like, Tales of the Abyss is a game where the Japanese version of it has an opening A and B to the theme song of the game, to this Japanese pop song. And in the English release of that game, they took out the lyrics of the pop song and replaced it with like a guitar, just doing the same. Oh, peeping a bit. Turn down both the game audio and our talent audio a bit.
Trying not to scream at you guys too much.
Ah, Wizworld live. Great to see you.
Yeah.
All right, we lowered the audio a bit. How's that sounding, gang?
A little more manageable for your ears.
It is a sad time across the internet. I hope all are well. For those of you who know what's going on, thank you for your support. For those wondering, I'd say check out the most recent video on the Wisecrack channel. I want to thank all those who are supporting because of that. Also, be sure, again, to check out Michael's channel, check out the Pixel Goblins, check out Fight Opera, and Austin's channel as well. So Wizworld, if you check it out, I don't want to talk too much about it, but like I've talked about this on Wisecrack Live, so as a contractor, I knew that I was going to be leaving, so that's kind of where my mindset was. I'm surprised because of other stuff, but let's not talk too much about that. Wizworld, like TechnoPoverty, no, let's not. Sorry, I have to focus on the game for a moment.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna watch it. Please, no further questions. We'll get it.
Yeah, we will have plenty of talks tonight. As Herman discussed, we need to figure out what happened to Kilmar Alberto Garcia.
Yeah, that is genuinely very concerning and absolutely atrocious in every sense of the word. You can't disappear people. You can't just send people.
Yeah, the whole reason. So the whole reason I, as Guts, running through this mansion, killing these bad dudes, is because I'm looking for Costa. She's been disappeared by Balzac. He is the villain of this game. Balzac is a local baron in a town overrun by Mandrake Men, and at first we thought he was the good guy, and we were trying to help him solve the Mandrake Man curse, because then he could heal his people, and Guts could heal Casca with whatever science magic Balzac found. However, plot twist, the Mandrakes aren't actually evil. Balzac's like doing weird science shit with them so that he can make an army of Mandrake Men. Horrendous. Guts finds this all out while he's out on a mission fighting children and nuns. Like, you're literally sent to eliminate children and nuns on Balzac's behalf. And then you go out there, you do the thing. There's a nun who carries a baby into a fire because she'd rather go out than have to suffer at the hands of what Balzac wants to do to them. And then we fought Nosferatu Zod because it's Berserk. You need Nosferatu Zod or some sort of going from the mainline franchise for the side story. But we beat Zod, and now Guts is bum rushing back to Balzac's mansion, which is where we are, because we need to save Casca. She was kidnapped by him. Also, Casca was roaming about and found a Mandrake core that Balzac had hidden in a lab. Ow, this axe guy is just killing me. I need to use my block button.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh. Okay, he made me go berserk. To get back around to tonight's theme about will and choice, I have no choice when I go berserk. If I'm getting beat up a lot or just dishing out punishment and that meter's filling up, it eventually just explodes. Then I have to cash in on the moment. I have no choice but to act on going berserk. Again, to be a bit of the devil's advocate for Griffith, did he have no choice but to go with the sacrifice? He was extremely beat up at the time. I don't think Miura is saying he did nothing wrong. I think he's just building a case of like there are a lot of factors that if we're pointing towards he's going to do it. And then I bring up that this is also an original Miura-written addition to the franchise that fits in nicely between actual canon chapters of Berserk. I like that the rage bar is introduced because this is right after the conviction arc when Guts is running along with Casca and I forget the exact name of the black dog, the actual name of it, but if you read Berserk, you know what I'm talking about. The demon that's blowing out of Guts' eye right now has begun to creep in, and he's having urges he has to fight within. And so it's really cool to see that concept be so narratively harmonious with this game. This game is just really sophisticated for a Dreamcast game. Again, compare it to Devil May Cry 1 and 2 and see what has a bit more mechanical finesse and narrative design to it. Also, this soundtrack, damn.
Yeah, it's a really good soundtrack. I was going to say, Gordy Poppins, glad that the weed is finally kicked in for you. Very happy with that. We love our cozy people.
Oh yeah, something weird's going on with Balzac's wife too, but we don't know yet.
Is that his wife there?
I think that's his daughter actually, if I remember from last time.
Okay.
一つだけ聞かせて。昔はメイ君って言われてたあんたがどうして
I know that feeling. I got you, Gordy Poppins.
領民を守るため、病弱な愛しき妻を守るために戦った。幾たび七に赴こうと、この身からどれほどの血を大地に注ごうと、ひるみはしなかった。
Look at his mane. See, he once was like Guts's now. He believed he could carry the burden forever alone. This fits very nicely into what happens in the manga right after this, where more people start coming into Guts's fold. This villain is sort of a what if Guts doesn't let anyone else in and makes healing Casca solely his thing and only his thing, and he doesn't allow anyone else to help him in that quest.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I feel it fits so nicely in, and again, it's an original story unlike the other two Berserk games.
Got you, yeah. Oh yeah, new emotes. Henry, did you add those in there?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I think we get a few just for becoming affiliates that people are using.
All right, great. Well, sticky guy.
But yeah, everything became so heavy. Love became a burden.
So did always.
It was just pressing on him, making him feel as if he had no choice. Meaning became tiresome.
Yeah.
It seems he did not exit the cycle of samsara and can only continue and perpetuate the violence.
それじゃこの子はどうなるのさ。あんたの娘だろ。この子じゃダメなの。あんたの生きがいにはならないの。
娘ではない。それは
Gas.
姉と我が妻だ。
Oh?
Yes, this feels like a previs for like a show that's going to be coming out soon. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
In a good way.
yeah, in the best way possible.
これは核から抽出した薬だ。あらゆる病に効くと言われているこの薬を私の妻に与え続けた。
Hello.
薬は確かに
Have you played Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice? It is the most Buddhist game, at least of all the stuff I've played.
だけではなかった。全ての記憶と
But yeah, that's exactly what Berserk's integrating into its cosmology, is, you know, Shura, like just going again and again and again until you're at the bottom of the barrel and you're offered that egg to become a demon.
この先も永遠にわらべのまま微笑み続けるである。
So Sekiro is not exactly like the Souls games in the way, like Bloodborne has some pretty good overlap with the Souls games. Sekiro is kind of its own action game. It is the best katana game, like as far as like it is a rhythm game, it is a dancing game, like it is a mechanical beauty. Yeah, see, Puck just also highlighted, it's like Guts and Casca. If Guts doesn't open up and let other people in, he might become this guy.
所詮の血のられし道をならば私は進むまでだ。何
Oh!
Ruh-roh. Looks like we unleashed the bad boy.
Oh crap, I forgot. The cutscenes.
Oh, yeah, the
in this
cutscenes
game,
are long.
They're long enough that my controller will fall asleep if I'm not careful.
Love his Jack's body suddenly.
Yeah, because he took the potion to go evil.
Yeah.
Alright. Ooh, I need to block more.
The graphic on this is incredible.
Oh, I missed, but I fired the arm cannon, which, again, as a character action game, it makes you feel like Guts in a way that just you know, digital cutscene, like it uses the medium of video games to make you feel like the character in a way that's like, oh yeah, the manga can never do this, but it's not replacing the manga or trying to just be one-one to the manga. It's its own form, making you feel those animations.
A companion piece too.
But we are gonna shoot this guy. I think we're gonna have to shoot this guy, Steven.
Yeah, gonna have to get fucked, sir. Jester pants.
You know, 1999 was ICP.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know the Juggalo lore too well. I just remember about 2002, 2003, 7th, 8th grade, them really popping off with the dudes. But I don't know if they were around before then. I'm sure they were, because I mean, as a middle schooler, you don't find the cutting edge of art. Like, you're being funneled of MTV Hot Topic core. Like, I saw them on a WWE event before I knew they did music. Like, they weren't unknown when I found them.
For sure.
I think that's something that a lot of American teenagers don't realize, and something I always find very funny. I remember when I first saw a Zelda shirt on sale at Hot Topic, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like,
I'm not the only person who's doing that.
yeah, there was such a like self-hating nerd culture at the time of like, nobody knows my struggle, I'm special, I'm alone, a unique sheep within this world. It's like, no, you're walking blind in 64. The NES like revitalized the video game market in the 80s. A lot of people had it. Like, you're not alone.
Yeah. Bloodborne is the best piece of cosmic horror fiction perhaps ever published.
It is extremely great, yes. I do want to play Bloodborne at some point and talk William Hope Hodgson. He wrote a really cool piece of weird fiction called The Nightland, and he has a bunch of other work I've never explored that seems also cool. It seems right in there with Bloodborne. I'm huge unread fiction authors who are H.P. Lovecraft. I want to probably talk about like Algernon Blackwood as well. We talked about Lord Dunsany during the Maximo run.
Yeah.
He is definitely worth checking out. He has a really great story about a dog that learns to read money. Read money? A dog that learns to use money, like purchase things. And speaking of material circumstances, like giving things a choice, there's questions about like what that dog starts to do once it learns how to buy things. You're like, well, I guess if a dog had thumbs.
Yeah, right? Like, what? The airbud of just capitalism.
Yeah, did Lord Dunsany do an airbud? Holy crap. I never thought about it that way, but you may be right. The man responsible for why Team Ico games look that way is also responsible for airbud.
Incredible.
And he was writing before television. Alright.
Take him out.
I'm gonna shake my boy out.
Yeah. Take your items.
Yeah. I pulled that cannonball out of him, put it back in.
Went inside your pants, and then I pulled those things out. What are you doing with them in your pants? Now that you've whooped my dad's ass.
It's her husband.
Oh, if that's a husband, see.
Yeah, they're pulling a Chinatown, kinda.
The old Airbud Chinatown. Gotcha.
Oh no.
No!
I don't know if I've discussed it yet, but within the lore of Berserk, there are baelets, these eggs that find their way into the hands of certain individuals, and whoever activates a baelet has the opportunity to become a demon. We're now about to play the most annoying part of the game. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
When I was comparing it to Castlevania, I wasn't just being like, oh, swords and sorcery. Like, no, this is some Castlevania bullshit right here. This is that bridge falling apart in the last level.
It just makes me think Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always say the reverse levels. Like, no. Run, bitch. Run. I like how they just completely disappear and it's just you.
So I'm not supposed to jump. I just thought I was going faster. I have to like, oh wait.
Nope.
This is probably the worst aged part of the game.
Yeah.
I remember when I first played it, I was not using the saves or anything. I was like, this is pretty doable, especially because the US release has limited continues. So you can get a hard game over and like have to revert to a further save point. And it doesn't seem that that's the case in this translated Japanese one. I am hearing the Crash Bandicoot music in my head.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. That's Crash Bandicoot, right?
Yeah.
We talk about books and then we hum Crash Bandicoot tunes.
Dude, I love Crash Bandicoot. Very fond. Ooh, rush to death.
Oof. Where do I start from? Oh, all the way in the back? All right, chat. I may save state this.
Because we're true gamers.
Yeah. Video games are designed to never be beaten. In fact, when people are designing them, they go, I don't want anybody to see the credits at the end. I don't want anybody to know I was making this thing. I better make it as hard as possible so nobody sees the credits roll.
This is just for me.
Right. That's why video games get made.
Yeah.
It's called the profit incentive. Come on now.
We should throw a lot of money at that.
Market of ideas.
God, what boy.
Just like dental practices that only take Medicare and tell old people they need more than they need. They need more done than they actually do.
Yeah. All the old people getting veneers. Like, I don't even fucking care.
which I am a healthcare for all guy, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Just don't scam my mom out of her Medicare.
Right. Well, my parents are good. Let's be nice to them.
Let's not send them AI calls.
Like, I get that they destroyed the country in a lot of ways and did some fucked up stuff, but like, I still love them.
I mean, the majority of them weren't like in positions of power. They were just subjects of the consumer economy.
Yeah.
This is something I go back and forth on. Like, you can't get too mad at.
Yeah, it's very much.
It depends on, you know, a lot of things as far as your parents. Like, if your parents were directly like in an office doing bad things, yes, very much. I think a lot of boomers, though, were very scared and given only information on TV in one direction and didn't have the internet to reassure each other or like independently research things. And
For sure.
that definitely mars the generation.
Yeah. I've met some mean grandmas.
Yeah, there are also just like
There's some crappy grandmas. We don't want to, though. We don't want the guy grandma, for sure.
yeah.
Also, what's up? Rash Mickey.
Thanks. Thank you for joining, Rash.
Yeah. Three, two, 5, 6. Some people use the how long to beat metric to judge games. Others use the how long to rage quit metric.
That's good to do. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I think that's a really good metric.
As I mentioned during my Mega Man X2 run, where I got the Shoryuken pretty flawlessly. I mean, I died on the first try. I was hesitant to attempt it because I've done runs where that's like been a 2-hour bit. Although now that I think about it in context, I was also like hanging with people, etc. There's reasons why I wasn't taking it as seriously as like a stream.
Gotcha, yeah. Oof.
I think if I slash, I could take out these plants. But see, I'm chilling, I'm talking to y'all, I'm trying to remember what I want to talk about as we play Berserk and talk about things.
Yeah.
So the game itself is, you know, not frustrating, not exploding. I also remembered this was coming. And I'm pretty sure if we save state, that last segment I gave you is the last one, and I just need to cut those. I just need to cut the grass, as they say.
Gotcha.
There is something. It was 3256 that brought up the time to play metric. Yeah, we were sharing that. We were talking about it on the Discord, or we shared a post on the Discord about that. And yeah, I think you can apply something similar to movies, where if you're looking at the runtime and you're just trying to figure out like how all the scenes add up in a plot sense to get to the ending, you're just going to be looking for like excuses to get to the next scene, excuses to get to the next scene. Like, instead of soaking in the purpose of the current scene, it's that whole Le Guin thing we were talking about with presence over progress. Like, it's not entirely like the reader's fault if they're thinking like that, though, because there is, you know, forms of storytelling that make use of that and are valid and fun. I love good plotty, like chain reaction momentum, heavy screenplays.
Yeah.
If a movie's executing its shit right, those things bang.
Yeah, dude, like
It's more that there's other ways to explore your mood and get shit out of narrative fiction than just does the plot add up. Yeah, you're right, Philly man. I think I'm gonna, if I get to the third corner again, I'm just gonna save state. I was contemplating it there, but it's kind of a thorn of pride because every time I've played this game, I do kind of safety this bit, and I'm like, I know I can do it all.
Yeah.
And I'm being less prickly or less quick to save state than I would in the English version because you seem to have infinite continues in the Japanese version. When we beat this game, I'm going to fire up the US release.
Yeah.
We're going to...
Eddie Hamill's mammal. About to start watching Twin Peaks for the first time. Oh, nice. I'm going through the exact same thing. Got a really good deal on the entire series.
Yeah, I'll lower the game volume a bit.
And definitely can lower the game volume a bit. Thank you for the heads up.
Thanks for the technical note. We are working it out. How's that sounding for you, Rash?
Yeah, feeling better?
I just realized I'm hitting the screen save button. I mean the screenshot button I meant. All right, third leg, let's go. And I just hit the flank. Nice. Okay, you can't cut it down. But
You can.
okay, cool. So I'll just run it. I just have to hoof it. But also, where's the tentacle? There's like some leeway here. I guess it triggers. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Third leg like a penis. Yeah, you get it. Soulsborne has destroyed any sense of pride for me. Those games push me to win in any way possible.
Yeah, dude, those games have an easy mode. People are always like, I wish they had an easy mode. It's called co-op. It's called using magic. It's called reading item descriptions and optimizing your build.
Yep.
They're open. They give you all the tools you need.
Yeah, I love the level design of Dark Souls.
Yeah, I like Elden Ring's open world because it feels very much like a level select screen that you can ride a horse across. I talked about this with the Mega Man X game, selecting the bosses, but then each level you get to is its own like huge module within the rule set. Like the world of Elden Ring is the tabletop rule set, and then each dungeon you go to is the modules within that. Also, that's part of why Elden Ring is the way it is like it's indulging the fantasy of, not indulging the fantasy, it's in a very valid way showing you that like you can figure things out. Here's a big wide latitude of problems, but all the tools to solve those problems are tucked away in the same world. Noah Caldwell-Gervais sums this up really well in his retrospective on the whole series. The illusion of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what those games are very good at because there's always a way. There's always a way. You can grind something out. You can get good gear. Yeah, in CG, he is one of the greatest and a huge inspiration. Aside from his gaming videos, I really love his travel logs. The one where he went through the like all the nuclear sites is real good. Yeah, that's the end of the tunnel right there.
You can do it! So third leg is censored by Twitch.
What?
It's pretty funny. Oof.
Oof, oof, oof. So I'm pretty much forced to play this the way they want me to. There's no variation. This isn't like the combat scenario. This is strictly a redundant platform part. And I bring that up because let's talk about Barry Lyndon, which is very much about watching this Irish scallywag. I hope that's it. Yeah, is that an okay term? Oh no. He's a rogue. He's a wandering boy. He runs away from Ireland and wanders across Europe. It is Kubrick just watching this dude ascend through gambling and guile into high society in the 1800s.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, and it's very much about watching this dude funneled through the machinations of like society at the time. Like, he is a striver and a hustler and going after what he's been incentivized to go after. It's very similar to the way the kid in Blood Meridian is just born into violence and illiterate and acting on impulse. Barry Lyndon also joins the army at one point and then deserts.
Because he's cool.
I mean, Guts and Griffith, mercenaries at the start of Berserk, guns for hire wandering the land.
Yeah, they gotta find a way to make some cash.
Spike? Like, is that Bowser's kid? I want to say Super Mario World. All right. I am just like needing to lock in, aren't I?
Lock in.
We need some like Kamen Rider-esque lock-in music and a soundboard.
Ooh, yeah. That's...
Speaking of soundboards, I know Lux has been talking about coming on to do some stuff. That boy is always running the soundboard on Pixel Goblins.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, we're gonna have some guests coming down the line.
Yeah, which is really exciting. More growth, more fun, more people.
Once again, thank y'all for sticking with us in this first month of growth. We're very surprised by how fast it's going.
Yeah, it's been really great. Really looking forward to more of it, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking more into, we're gonna play some, like 2 more fantasy games, and then we're getting some more futuristic cyberpunk, less retro stuff. We may be playing Death Stranding 2 on release if the scheduling works out just right. I would love to use that as a time to talk about Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents.
Take a sip and maybe stretch before a difficult part.
You know, I am feeling my legs. Maybe I should just...
Yep. Don't cyberpunk at me, I'll come. Do it. Do it.
I mean, I do want to tie Snow Crash into something, and Archaeology of the Future is a Frederick Jameson book. I highly suggest reading it. I'm thinking of ways to integrate that into Metal Gear Solid 2, because the popular perception of what postmodernism is it's astounding, and I think a lot of the bastardization of the term postmodernism online can be seen. Metal Gear Solid 2 is kind of the inception point of that. I don't think Metal Gear Solid 2 caused it. I think Bad Reed's Metal Gear Solid 2 did, though. That is, yeah. I don't want to talk too much about future programming because things are flexible. We are also currently navigating a move, just to give you a heads up if the schedule gets rocky. But we will keep this spaceship flying, we will keep dodging the bigwigs, and we will keep bringing Barney to you.
Yes.
It is imperative that she broadcast her mind waves through the background radiation of us gaming. Or else the scam doesn't work. Yeah.
I mean, she controls it all.
Don't dig too deep into that. Just look at the dog. Okay, jump there, jump there. You just stop joking about Barney and just focus on those jumps.
Yo, Van Hollen did it. He found Kilmar and talked to him.
Okay, they found Kilmar?
Whoa.
Hell yes. Check in on that.
Yeah.
I was honestly worried the reason we weren't going to get anybody back from down there is because I don't want to say explicitly. Oh, I was going to say maybe use your phone because I need to reset the save state.
Oh, that makes sense. Gotcha. You do that. You do that. Thanks for the update with World. Yeah, true. Yep, Senator Chris Van Hollen said my main goal of this trip was to meet with Kilmar. Tonight I had the chance. I called his wife, Jennifer, to pass along his message of love. I look forward to providing a full update upon my return. Man, absolutely crazy that this is like things that is happening now.
So, yeah, what about everybody else in that El Salvadorian prison?
Yeah, like, I don't know about anybody else. I did a lot of Holocaust studies when I was in high school, a little bit of middle school, but definitely in high school. These are the things that are happening. And it's really another way to put it. The
loss of due process is frightening.
Yeah.
From what I understand, too, they're like
expanding prisons outside of the United States to send more people.
Private prisons are not cool.
No.
Okay, they're incentivized to keep them alive. Got it. Yeah, it does seem like what they're really trying to do is, you know, prison profits, just as a means of boosting the country's economy.
Yeah, it's money. I love it.
So I was being a nightmare haver more so than a rational. I mean, it's not rational at all to just be doing this shit, so. All bets off the table. Like, one day they're doing terrorists, the other day psych. That's what it's been above a lot of all else, is if you detach it from any actual compass, just the inconsistency of the line, the instability of it all, the purposeful confusion it instigates, that's the most frustrating. The seeming inability of anyone to break the veil of protocol when it comes to etiquette and manners and engaging these people. The good faith is frustrating, is what I'll say in the broadest sense. You can find my thoughts on Carol and leave it online.
So we got crazy weather outside right now.
Extremely horrible stuff going down with bringing special guests onto the White House press briefing to recount graphic things for the exploitation of political purposes, for political exploitation. Okay, so the big hump seems to be that vertical one there. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't think a lot of people understand, once again, why we talk about hauntology and conditioned state so much on this channel. Just how individuated everyone is into being able to find an excuse or a rationale as to like why what they're doing is the valid way of operating within the system. Like, in terms of like, to get within those positions, you have to already be willing to play certain games and meet certain benchmarks of what you're willing to do. And that's not like conspiracy theory minded, like, oh, they have some kind of compromat. It's just like, you have to learn the lingo of the business. You have to learn the social mores of the job. You have to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that with everything. It's just, I don't think people understand how that creates a system of like point scoring and gamification that detaches itself from the actual like material consequence of the game being played.
Yeah.
Hassan Minhaj, I think, had a pretty... He's got hit or miss. I think he can trim down some of the jokes he does in his interviews with more serious members of the congressional body, but he did an interview with Liz Warren. I thought he raised good questions where he was like, I see people go in on campaign promises and they're liars and sociopaths because of like what you gotta do to get to position, and then they exit the office war criminals. And is that an office that you can salvage, you know?
Yeah.
Does the king get to like create new rules for what the king does, or does he have to obey the weight of the crown? Let's recall the Berserk quote we started on. In this world.
Destroy it.
Okay, so I keep getting hung up right there, I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm literally like 2 leaps away.
Yeah.
Okay. So leap here, leap here, leap here.
Yeah, right.
Right. Double jump. No, I get caught up on that
I was
jump.
gonna say maybe go left.
I think I
than
should
the jump.
jump at one point just to clear some safe distance that I'm running right now. So leap here, leap here, leap. Caught. Okay. Therein lies the danger room.
Yeah.
Philly Man, do you remember, was that like a YouTuber essay or? I've been enjoying a lot of the more kind of informational, topical, like Second Thought's been doing good work is what I'll say. I've been enjoying a lot of Second Thought's stuff as far as explainer videos and shareable information goes for the current political moment. Dang.
Damn.
I may go nonverbal for a moment.
You'll lock it.
Okay, so there's a generous late start right there.
Yeah, Gordy, we're gonna remind you of a lot of things that you'll immediately forget as well. That'll happen pretty regularly.
If you do want to hear more about postmodernism, though, definitely check out what Michael's been doing. He did a video a few weeks back about it, and a stream. Also, you know, the Wisecrack Philosopher Reacts videos, classics in the genre.
True.
Try not getting hit. Pro tip, shoot the cyber demon until it dies. So there's a hop and a leap.
Scoop.
And a dash. The run and the hop. Ow. Ow. There is a pretty generous window if I make it to that hop though, so.
Yeah.
It's just there's that one diagonal pillar I keep messing the jump up on. So just do that. I think I learned something. I think I learned something.
Feel semi-confident now.
Nope, I did not.
Love these crazy music cues.
So when a Dark Souls game, or even a Maximo came out 2 years after this, or a contemporary game is like, we're gonna bring back retro hardcore, it's never this.
Yeah.
It's never this. It is never this. It is something very like Mega Man light in its execution. I don't think any throwback game has quite been like this.
An actual old
Actually, like intentionally like acidic against you. And I think maybe that's needed. Something to really kick some gamer boys who think they're like into like retro throwback indie stuff.
Yeah, we need Elon Musk's Ghost Gamer to be working a lot harder than he has been.
Games that are more just like actively mad at you, actively obtuse.
Yeah.
Lie to the player more. That's why the first Dark Souls game blew my mind so hard back in the day. When you first find out there's an alternate ending and you've been lied to, it is
Devastating.
yeah. Amazing of the genre. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Damn plants. Yeah, Epic Games definitely did this a lot too.
It's funny too because like a lot of those kind of retro, like the hardest like game I can think of in this sort of vein is maybe Hollow Knight. I think Hollow Knight has some legit tough platform challenges and like bosses. You can max out your sword and stuff and it makes it manageable, but like the patterns that game asks you and like the repetition can get extremely crazy.
Yeah.
But Hollow Knight's not even like Yeah, we're being old school and hardcore. It's just like confident in what it's doing. Oh, that's the end too, gang, right there. Interesting, Philly. I haven't heard of him. Nope. That one was botched from the start.
Hey, Barney, stop licking your legs. Stop licking. One day the man will find his way to the end.
I was doing good until I was running up against the wall at the end there. Caught on a rock.
Gordy, what's happening in Canada? She's going crazy. So, Arash Mickey, is Dark Souls first game you played with an alternate ending?
No.
I don't know which one I played. I don't know the first
Maybe Chrono Trigger, maybe Metroid if we're counting that.
Oh yeah, Metroid. Yeah.
It's just the way that Dark Souls so thoroughly considers its alternate ending as a competing mythology with the first ending, and the way that ties into the player element of choice in making their own story and like a lot of like the themes of what Dark Souls is about. Like, it's just so well considered that it blew my mind, and it really made me realize like this game is something special beyond just like a fun RPG with really responsive controls. What it's trying to articulate about self-narrative and cycles of violence.
Yeah.
Eventually, Elden Ring just came along and perfected.
We like that. Lock it.
What was that right there? I'm just doing bad now. See, I keep getting hung up on stuff. Of course I'm getting hung up on stuff, that's why it's not going forward. I jumped too early on that block is what's currently my thing. I'm trying to like rush through the start and I'm jumping too early on that thing.
There you go. Oh yeah, save it.
And there we go. Whoa! The Mandrake Chorus got Casca somehow. Swallowed her up.
Looks like that little like baby from Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Kill the demon baby. Oh man, Gordy, there's so many good video games. Almost too many good video games.
No, yeah. Don't let anyone ever tell you, don't fall into, there's always something good to check out. I guess I was going to give you some sort of Sturgeon's Principle type thing, but I need to focus on this boss because I'm going to be killed by the Mandarin.
Take that motherfucker.
But there's a nostalgia trap I noticed. I don't notice it much anymore. Maybe it's something people in their 30s are more prone to, 20s are more prone to than their 30s. But just like getting too much in the mindset like they don't make them like they used to anymore and thinking like just nothing new can be good, it really just gets you frustrated with the time. Like, yes, I will say the means of distribution of art right now is terrible, and a lot of bad stuff is flooding the corporate channels, so there's a cynicism to like if art right now is good, as far as like popular art like movies and TV shows and stuff goes. But remember, there's always stuff from the past you can go back to. We are in an age of digital abundance, and we're being told we're not, and that we have to pay for a bunch of paywalled stuff.
Yeah.
This is part of the techno-poverty mindset. We have to question why we've been conditioned to believe in. Yeah, the certain things that are and aren't accessible in this current state of everybody online and connected to the internet for work and the extraction of ad revenue. But like, what's going on with our healthcare? Why do I have to send my resume to all these places that are just going to ask me to re-enter my resume in their own website portal after I uploaded the PDF of my resume? Those kind of things,
Real important stuff. And yeah, the amount of free stuff available right now is wild.
And I mean, there's like the Internet Archive and stuff too. It's not even like you have to,
Yep. Live
yeah, exactly. Tubi. We're huge fans of Tubi here.
Yeah. Also libraries as well.
Oh, dang, it went too far.
Yeah, Tubi is like the closest to feeling like walking down in a video store back in the day.
So what's that? Just that.
It's giant gross baby.
Technically, it's a Mandarin core, but yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cherub-like though.
Right, intentionally so.
Yeah.
Ow.
We just walked into that one.
I did. I just beat it. That one too.
Yeah.
Wow. I think when it does that scream, I need to be looking away from it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I see how that did damage to me.
Yeah.
That's my combo. That's the one that really did Zod in.
He looks like he's vomiting out like the stuff from the Freddy Krueger dream nightmares. You know, just like forms of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, very Dream Warriors.
Yes. Yeah.
We've been talking about dreams a lot. We haven't talked about Nightmare on Elm Street and the Dream Man, but Jacob, thank you for bringing up that text. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great.
Find that interesting in the context of like we're playing fantasy because like I've never found Freddy Krueger like terrifying as a horror movie concept. Like I didn't really get affected by the jump scares, and it's like, well, if you're not scared of him, he has no power. So like there's kind of like, you know, oh, facts and logic, I can beat Freddy Krueger like more so than Jason. But like I do appreciate the like dark fantasy Dungeons and Dragons-esque comic book feel of those first three, especially that third one.
Yeah.
He's like a fantasy monster they have to like figure out.
Yeah, they do a really fun job coming up with just this whole.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a new Mario Kart game coming out?
Yeah.
Is it?
It was part of the, they like announced it with the Switch too.
Ooh, fun. Yeah, we all love the evil tree. Christian Tinkers.
Got him.
Good thing it's not using the Utes right now. Yeah. At 3256, if anyone has a library card, you can use it to stream movies.
Yes, definitely look into Canopy, and if your library supports Canopy. Canopy is a very great streaming service. They have a lot of stuff you aren't going to find anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, libraries offer
Yeah, I
audiobooks.
have some friends who really take advantage of the audiobook program too. I find audiobooks a bit hard to get into for narrative fiction, but yeah.
Oh, I love it for that kind of stuff, personally. Also, you can do the New York Public Library. Anyone can get a card for the New York Public Library's online stuff, and they have so many things you can check out there.
Whoa, Casca's talking. Whoa. The Mandrake interaction somehow cured her? Casca. Oh no. Casca! 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 Damn. This is so much better acted than the English script for this moment. Wow.
マンドラゴラに取りつかれてたおかげで一瞬だけ元に戻ったんだ。正気を狂気に。それが逆に働いて。
But we killed everything. We saved the day. We got the girl back. What's going on? Oh, Balzac's still kicking, eh?
Ooh, Gordy, don't get too wobbly. What in the fuck?
Balzac's
Oh, yeah.
blind hit the Valet.
Oh, so he wasn't. So what was this if not?
He was
like,
on Mandrake juice.
Okay.
Now the other gods appear.
Now he's a problem. I see what's going on now. I'm catching on.
He was just a pest, but now he's a full-on demon.
We love it.
We love our demons, don't we, folks?
We absolutely love our demons here.
Oops. Look at him. Sacrificed his wife. Nice.
Dang.
Oh, crap.
Man, this is tricky. This would be fun to watch on mushrooms.
Shout out to Schedule 35.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should do something like that.
Let's not say much more on that.
Yeah, you know,
Just to be clear.
body autonomy is a beautiful thing.
Portobello's.
Yeah. Yeah, they do throw you straight into another boss.
Yep. I guess you can consider it like part 2 of like the finale.
Oh yeah, like the second.
Yeah.
The health regrowing.
Form 2.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, actually, I think this is like a biblically accurate angel you're fighting right now.
Something like that, yeah.
This man.
This one.
Come on.
Oh look, it's losing heads as I fight it.
Oh, okay, so that's what I was like, where is this going? Get it? Do you think it's gonna be like a slavery? Does it become a slavery one after this? I feel like it's gonna slavery.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how embarrassing that's got to be have your ass kicked while putting on like the delicious juice, and then you go full demon mode and you still get your ass kicked? Like, oh well, like.
Yeah, what was that sacrifice worth, man?
Yeah.
What a petty dream.
Are the people asleep or are they waking?
In that way, it's a responsibility of choice thing in the way the best Spider-Man is. No wonder I like both these things so much.
The delicious juice, yes. It's the Care Bear juice. Let's be real.
Oh no. So the mandrakes weren't actually bad guys. That was all Balzac making people mad at each other. So, you know, tale as old as time. The rich guy making the underclass fight each other.
Stoking some racial fires, I see.
What a classic.
I have never seen this movie.
All the hits of the worst human behavior here. Murder, betrayal, theft.
Beautiful.
But, I mean, the demon overlords, at least slain, he wasn't doing very good for them.
That's good at least.
Look at that dog.
Yeah. Love that little dog.
一人で大丈夫？バカにしないで。今までだってずっと一人でやってきたんだから。心配いらないよ。
風みたいにどこへでも一人で。
That was a legit cool frame of Guts looking upwards, just camera on his back.
Yeah.
Striking cinematography.
Yeah, like I said, it really does feel like a pre-visualization for just like a full animation. Never gonna forget you guys.
The real Berserk was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. What are you doing, girl? What's that? Oh, why, thank you. You're a sweetheart. Appreciated.
And there goes the music. Listen to that, Forces.
Sick.
Turn it up just a little. This has been Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage.
Your Henry just skeeteritoed at you what I've been doing this whole time.
Oh? Oh?
Oh?
Who's skeeting at me?
Gordy Poppins. Mr. Gordy Poppins.
Oh wow, that is a very nice overlay. I like the Shy Guys. And the Wolves? Wow.
Dude.
Not bad.
That's cool. Dude, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, Billy Man, that was an extremely quick game. So what we're gonna do is, first off, I hope the mix isn't too bad. We're going to enjoy Forces for a moment here, and thank all you beautiful people for joining us. For those who haven't seen us yet and need some station ID, we are TechnoPoverty. I'm Henry.
I'm Jacob.
And we use this as a platform to talk about books and play video games. We've been working through Berserk as we talk about Berserk. We're talking a bit about Barry Lyndon, Found Paradise, Lone Wolf and Cub, Blood Meridian, The Count of Monte Cristo. I didn't bring up Something Is Killing the Children, a very fun comic about a woman who goes town to town hunting demons and protecting kids. I think you can see why it's related to Berserk. I don't want to spoil that one that much. That one made me genuinely feel some pretty powerful things as I read through it. And Something Is Killing the Children. If you haven't heard about it, check it out.
Is it a comic, right?
Yeah, it's a comic.
Excellent. Definitely have my eyes on. Yeah, the critic music does rule.
Yeah, Philly, the 1997 anime is pretty famous for its music as well, and this is the same composer. Like, some of these tracks are also in the anime.
Yeah.
We are going to fire up the US version really quick, just to take a look at some of the differences and show you guys what was changed here. Also want to loop back around to the title screen because I want to see the fan translation name so we can give them proper credit, because that was a hell of a job, guys. Thank you for getting this game available in this format. I already really liked the Dreamcast one, even with the sort of clipped wings. So this one, as I pointed out while we were watching it, it fits really well into Berserk. So R.I.P. Kentaro Miura, you made one of the best works of fantasy ever.
Man.
Oh, actually, after we follow up the US version, we're going to take a break. And then we have a surprise for you. We're changing up the formula a bit, but we have a piece of ancient lore we want to talk about since we've been going through fantasy gaming so much.
Fun stuff. Stay tuned.
We're literally going to play, I use literally in the worst spot there, we're going to play one of the oldest games of all time. It is the adventure game, some might say. But it's going to be a full playthrough. It's not something that's long, if you don't know what we're alluding to. Stick around. We're going to get even more retro than the Dreamcast.
Let's do it. Ooh,
Take care, Gordy.
Yeah, enjoy the movie, Gordy, and Philly Man love Night of the Hunter.
Yeah. Night of the Hunter is the best American film of all time. I will say that. We'll probably screen this sometime. We're talking so much about movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah. Gordy, you have a good night. No pressure. Thank you for hanging so much. Oh, a post-credit scene? What is this, a Marvel movie?
Ooh. Thank you for the sub.
Thank you, Rash Mickey. It's our boy. It's the man himself.
Oh shit.
It's the Skeleton Knight, guys.
We love him.
Guys, it's him. It's
He's the guy.
He's the
Leo DiCaprio meme. Leo DiCaprio meme.
No, but I love the Skeleton Knight. I'm so glad that there's a little post-credit on him. The first time I saw this scene, I did gasp.
Thank you so much, Arash Mickey. It
Yeah.
means a lot. And right back at you.
Yeah, this is the part where Samuel Jackson recruits guys.
Yep. And then they have shawarma. It's great.
All right, so I'm going to.
Nice.
Oh wait.
Oh, we're waiting.
Let's not boot up the American version yet because, again,
We're gonna hold off.
we want to give proper credit.
Yeah. Man, this has been really, really fun game watching, though. Like, it definitely makes me want to get more into the comic.
We were playing on hard.
Oh, nice.
Oh, holy shit. Okay. So there was a difficulty switch. It was just hidden. I remember that being, okay. Guys.
Nice. We just beat that on hard.
Okay.
Nice, Henry.
Nice.
We're going to clip that one.
Clip it. There's a prize box. So there's a stage select. This is something too. It's a short game, but it's so generous with what it gives you afterwards. Oh, I could have been doing that the whole time.
Oh no
Dang.
shit. Yeah. Fuck, that's so funny.
Okay, but yeah, so there's a stage select, that's fun. There's a battle arena, which is a boss rush mode. So if you want to fight Zod anytime you want.
Nice, get those points.
Yeah. No limit mode. Ooh, that's generous. Do you accept this demonic contract? So it's basically easy mode. It gives you infinite on all the items instead of having to manage all that. I'm not gonna...
That's pretty chill though.
I didn't know. Also, there's a really cool world. Yeah. So this is also in the English version, but this was the first kind of glossary of Berserk English speakers got. It's pretty neat to have all this stuff. Also, yeah, I like the extra cutscenes, the boss rush mode. It's just very generous for a game to do that. I have no idea what these question marks are.
Yeah, right? Like,
Interesting.
I think you clear the boss rush mode, you clear the stage select mode, and you probably unlock something. It might be a special fight.
Dude.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know why it's presented as a demonic contract
I think it's
either.
just like a personal thing. Like you know that you're using unlimited.
But I'm kind of terrified of demonic contracts. I don't want to take one.
I
Let me
love that.
see really quick.
framing for that is great, though.
Yeah, do you want to trade away?
Yeah, exactly. 3256. The trade-off is shame.
Yep, R.I.P. Kentaro. I'll have to search credits information during the break, but remind me to do that because I did love this fan translation.
Yeah.
We're going to switch on over to Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage, though. And yes, that was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man!
On the topic of movies, since we were talking about that during the credits, we have been screening things on the Discord. We are going to screen, again, Freddy Got Fingered, maybe Hundreds of Beavers. We'll see how we're feeling Sunday. But since the Count of Monte Cristo came up in this playthrough, I do want to watch the most recent version of that as well. So it'll be a new experience for all of us, chat.
That'll be fun.
But yeah, we like to weave cinema into the syllabus. We can't just throw up full movies and go TikTok style and have that going while we're playing the game, but
We'd love to.
we screen them where we can when we can.
One day we're going to each be playing 2 separate games going at the same time.
Oh, this game's a work of a fiction and only mature audiences should play it.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's the American introduction. Awesome. Same cutscene. You get this Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage graphic. And it's really quick. So we look in the prize box. It does have, the stage select. Pretty identical. If we look in the gallery, I should have pulled up like a world text description because look, Zordo, Hawk of Light, Knights of the Sacred Chain, Casca's in caps for some reason. Bailit is translated as Beherite. They didn't know the vocabulary of the franchise. It hadn't been brought over yet by Dark Horse. Sword of the Berserk. No, actually, that's a very great way to frame it, 256. The English version is Sword of the Berserk, Gatsu Rage. But actually, so I have beaten this version, so I have all these things unlocked. Let's just watch really quick one of the English cutscenes to get a sense of. Yeah, okay. It's the same game mechanically. I'm just gonna throw in one of these English cutscenes really quick so you guys get a sense of how this was when it was released. We are playing Sword of Berserk.
horrifying.
Casca, hang in there, You know who I am.
Gatsu. My dear. I was dreaming. A really bad dream.
Casca.
Good.
Thank you, Arash Mickey.
Yeah.
Note that even though we were on hard, the most frustrating part wasn't combat related.
Yeah, right. It was, that's a really good point.
My love, come back.
My love, come back. Cheers.
She went back to normal because she was possessed by the Mandragora. It makes sane people crazy, but crazy people sane.
Poor Gatsu. So close.
Curse fate.
I was like, where's it gonna cut off? Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, they say Gatsu. Gatsu's being like, Casca, my love.
My love, my sweet.
It's such a my lords and my ladies soap opera.
Max Payne.
Max Payne. But yes, thank you for joining us for Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage. We're gonna take a break and then we're gonna be back with a surprise game. Once again, we're going way back in time. The Dreamcast came out after I was born. What we're doing next existed before I was born. It existed before Jacob was born. It existed like... We're going back to 1980, I'll put it that way. In the meantime, y'all stretch your legs, smoke them if you got them, hydrate, get some water. We're going on break, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, hydration's important.